Come here, Bubs. You be in the show? Hey, we're live. Hey, out there. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope you're doing well. I'm getting hit by a cattail. Right there, the cattail. Anyway, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time it is, because you can watch the show anytime you want or listen to it on our podcast. And what we do on the show, Bubbles, we talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way. Today, I want to talk about story pointing. It's the second day in a row. Talk about story pointing. Today, I want to talk about how you can use your definition ready to help you story point and size your stories. And also there's some other things that help with the definition ready and the story pointing and contents to getting stuff from your customer or your product owner in a way it should be there. So talk about that today. And this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And I said we talk about Scrum and Agile, but why do we do it? Because we want you to be able to get value to the customer without working crazy hours. So you get home to family and friends, enjoy your work, and enjoy being home and have some fun. Right, Bubbles? Yeah, Bubbles all excited because Mom and Isabella got back from their Girl Scout camping, didn't they? I know. They're all here. Anyway, so what do we talk about today? I do have my little whiteboard. I'm going to talk about that and draw it out a little bit. So story pointing. Definition ready. And one of the things they talk about sizing, right? Relative estimating size, how do you do it? But let's say I'm going to propose this to you. You have it. Now, this is another reason why you should have a definition ready for your team. And you'd be amazed how many teams don't have a definition ready, nor do they update it on a quarterly, regular basis. I think they should do it quarterly. Let's look at it. Definition of ready and how that affects points, right? How it feeds into points. So let's say you have a definition ready, and one of them is you have, hey, and a definition ready is where a team works out a deal with the product owners. We need this kind of information so we can say, hey, this story is ready to be worked on. So let's say there's some data, maybe sample data. Maybe there are some napkins. I'm going to put napkins. I'm going to put that in there because I'm curious if anybody actually, why is that? Why do you need a napkin? It's actually your drawings, right? Napkins, stuff on a drawing. And then I want to say CX, right? CX data. And you know what all CX is? Customer experience data, not user experience, because I am really getting keen and pumped up about customer experience and no more user experience. I think user experience is so bad. It's just not motivating, whatever. I'm a user. I'm going to build this for a user. What the hell is a user? Anyway, that's a different story. Discussion. And that's why I shut the door. Because my wife is trying to talk nuts. Anyway, so you get that. Maybe we got some graphics. Betty, stop it. A database, maybe a previous, let's say, agreement with another vendor, dependencies, like a dependency. And I'm just drawing something. And everyone's different. Definition ready is different, right? So, story points. So these kind of things contribute to your definition ready. Data, sample data, napkins, which is your drawings, CX data, graphics, maybe database stuff, dependencies, maybe an architecture. Maybe there's an architecture. Architecture drawing somewhere, right? Maybe there hasn't been one. So now let's say the product owner, a user story, maybe they come up with the napkins and they get some CX data and graphics. We know what database, okay, but maybe the product owner hasn't met with the dependency team or the Scrum Master or somebody on your team hasn't met with the dependency. So that's an empty. And maybe the database sample is empty and maybe the architecture is not there. So based on these things, we would bump up because we're missing that stuff. Maybe I'm going to do a different color. Blue or something. I wish I had red. Make it red, right? So you can make it blue. Like we're missing stuff. So we bump up points. P points. So here, bump. So maybe the story looks like a normal 3-point story, an average, whatever your team's average story is. But because we haven't done the dependencies, I don't have my data sample, and I don't have my architecture, you know what? Maybe bump it up to the next level of pointing. What does this do? So let's say it was a 5-point story. Now goes up to an 8-point story, right? Because we're missing these things. Bump it up. So it goes from a 5-point story to an 8-point story. Product owner is like, why did you bump it up? I can't get as much stuff done. Well, if we had all this stuff figured out before we start the story, we would know better. Maybe it wouldn't be an 8-point. Maybe it would be just a 5-point story. But because it is, we need more time. So what does this do for you? This gives you leverage with the product owner a little bit too, because now your definition ready helps you establish this stuff. It encourages the product owner to bring these things to the table because maybe you can get more work into a sprint. Without these couple things missing in your definition ready, you have a legitimate reason why to bump it up, and you can't do as much work in the sprint because it's missing stuff to be ready, right? So using these, like I'm missing stuff on my definition ready, therefore I'm going to bump up the story, and it's totally legit. I don't know where the lid is for this thing. Here it is. So it's a totally legit item. So again, just really quick, we're using the definition ready to help us design the story points, right? We go through, hey, we have all this stuff. We discussed the story refinement session, all this stuff. Hey, the only data that's missing is dependencies, data sample, maybe an architecture. Because it's not there and we're in the refinement, we're going to bump it up to 8 points because we may have to figure more stuff out, do some more spikes, do some more analysis as part of the stories to develop that. Maybe your BA has to go out and get some more data samples. Maybe the tester does. Somebody has to do some extra work, and therefore we can't get as many stories in a sprint. So this influences what you can get done in a sprint also. So I wanted to share that with you as an extra item for story pointing and what impacts the sizing of stories. It's a great way of doing it. Once you have the document, it's not subjective, right? It's very, or is it subjective or objective? I don't know. But it's very data intense, right? It's very much, we agree to this based on agreement. It's not a personality issue. Hey, let's bump it up. They can't argue with you. Yeah, you're missing it. Or you can have that discussion, right? You can have that discussion with product owner and say, yeah, we need this. Maybe if you get some of this stuff before we go into the sprint, we can do it, right? What are you doing? So that's what I got today. Bubbles is really wanting attention. Bubbles, you want to say hi? I know we were in the picture. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Hey, Bubbles. Bubbles wants to say hi. She wants some attention. Yeah, clickbait. I got a kitty. I got a little adopted kitty from the streets of Philadelphia. She's a big alley cat, by the way. Anyway, she's taking over. She kicked the dogs off the couch. Now she's taking over her spot. So this is my spot. This is where I was before the dogs came. Anyway, we're going to leave because I hear Jerry growling in the background. Jerry! Oh. By the way, she did that at one of the shows, and I was playing the show. Of course, she gets up and growls at herself because she hears the howl. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you like the show. We try to have some fun and enjoy it, what we do. I like this stuff anyhow. I'm kind of weird that way. Ring the bell a couple times so you get notification when we do go live, because we do vary, especially on the weekends, vary the times. In the morning, we're pretty good. We always put our podcasts out at 5 a.m. So you get them, but you can listen to podcasts any time of the day. So just like in your favorite podcast system, and add it to your repertoire of podcasts, and you should come through. With that, I say, have a great day, enjoy, and we're going to go to a Polish festival. Have some fun. Betty's like, bring me back some Polish sausages. Right? Right. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.